Hi again, everyone. Welcome to the Body Manual. My name is Annabelle and I will be your physical therapist today. In the last video, I talked about posture. I will continue to talk about posture in this video. We talked about stretching the pectoralis major and minor muscles and ways to modify that if you're unable to. Today, I wanted to talk about part of the posture is because those muscles are get tight very easily. What can happen is your rotator cuff drags along with it. So your rotator cuff muscles, you probably hear people calling it rotator cuff or rotor cuff muscles, but it's the rotator cuff muscles. They are made up of 4 muscles that are attached. They begin in the shoulder blade, your scapula. You can search, image search scapula or your shoulder blade and the rotator cuff muscles. But the one on top, above the spine here, above the spine of the scapula or this bone here, that's called the supraspinatus. And the one that means above the spine, the one below is infraspinatus, below the spine of the shoulder blade. And then you have the teres minor, and you also have the subscapularis, which is under or in front of the shoulder blade, between the shoulder blade and the rib cage. So what happens is when it tightens up, when you have bad posture, same thing if you're immobilized for a long time, or if you're just you've been sedentary for a long time, you're in a desk job or whatnot, this tends to happen. I'm exaggerating, but you get the point. So what happens is your humerus, the upper arm, gets internally rotated. It gets rotated in this way, and all these muscles get pretty tight, and as well as other muscles. So with the rotator cuff, when that happens, it's hard for people to, because it's going in this way, those muscles get weak, these muscles get tight. It's hard for people to turn this bone out this way. So that includes brushing your hair, washing your hair, scratching the back. Not necessarily going this way, but that can be affected in a different way. But basically everything where your humerus or this bone externally rotates, it rotates outwards. So when I have patients that are, that go through that, or that I notice are in this direction, or if I notice they're kyphotic, which means they're kind of like in that hunchback position, one of the other things that I do is to get them into that rotated position. So also, in public places, when I see people sitting, I notice the back of their chairs, like their shoulder blades are way out here, or they're totally lifted off. So that gives me an indication of there's something going on with their rotator cuff muscles, or even their pec muscles, or the chest muscles. So the first thing I would do is, when you correct your posture, you don't want to just squeeze the shoulder blades. Because when you do that, when your shoulder blades are in this position and you're trying to put them together, it doesn't, so if this is your shoulder blade, it doesn't really correct itself. It's still in that position where it's tipped forward. So it's still in this direction, but you're just squeezing it. So what I would do is I'd have people try to touch their shoulder joints. So just think about touching your shoulder this way. So that already it tips the shoulder blade or the scapula into this position. So from here, it's kind of weird, but a lot of people will just walk around like this. But think when you let go of your shoulder, think of where the shoulder blades are positioned. That's where your ideal position generally should be. Your shoulder blades on the rib cage. So then you just put your arms down, keep the shoulder blades in that position. If you have a hard time doing that, start off with that previous video work on these muscles first. If it's really tight, I would dig deeper. If it hurts, it's something to talk to your doctor about or your physical therapist. So that's one of the things that I have people do. That's usually their homework, is to do this. People get discouraged, it feels like, oh, I feel like I'm sticking my chest out, but it feels funnier than how it looks because your body's so used to being in this position. Your body, as I mentioned before, is smart and dumb, right? So it's accommodating you to be in this position because all these muscles are tight, but really what you want to do is to correct it, to stretch out those muscles in order to get into this position. That's why I'm not getting into strengthening the back yet, because you want these muscles to be stretched out first and these muscles to be able to bring your shoulders back before you even try to strengthen that, okay? One of the first things is basically endurance. You want your postural muscles to have that endurance. So you'll forget, you'll do this, and then when you remember, go back to it. Don't get discouraged. You're like, I can't keep doing that all day. But do that as many times as you can remember. You're actually strengthening those muscles actively without any resistance. So you're just going against your own body weight, which is what you need to do in the first place. Your body's gotten accustomed to being in this position, so teach it to be in this position. There are other things. It's not just that. There's the neck as well as the thoracic spine, which is the middle part of your back. So keep watching. I'm going to want to go through all of these in pieces because there's so much to talk about the human body, and the posture itself is not just the one-time 5-minute video, 10-minute video, or anything like that. So anyway, so there's problems in this position if you're having pain because those muscles are tight. The first exercise I have them do is to stand against the wall like this. And I always demonstrate, touch the back of your hands towards the wall. Make sure that your shoulder blades are moving, gliding on your rib cage. So visualize that. Your shoulder blades are gliding on your rib cage. So just like this. It's not as easy as it looks. I've had shoulder injuries, but I'm still able to touch the back of my hands to the wall. A lot of people will just be like, one arm is like this. I can't do it. That's okay. Or people will try to go this way. No. I want your body relaxed. So my heels are touching the wall. You don't have to do that. Some people will be kyphotic where it can't even do that. It's okay. Your goal is, that's just your goal. You're going to push your hands to the wall. And it's okay if you can't do it. The more you practice this, the farther and you'll be able to get. So just like this. So when you see how my elbows are just down like this? That's all you need, okay? Just like that. So I would suggest your goal would be 2 sets of 10, twice a day. So when people can't do that, I would modify it. So imagine this as a wall, because I don't have a camera person, or even a doorway where I'm inside a doorway. So I would have this forearm parallel to the wall. So I have my hands against this wall, sorry. So I'm like this. I want to make sure that my elbow is tucked in, right? So people might have extra tissue there. That's okay as long as you're trying to keep it tucked in. A way to not cheat is to tuck a towel under there, just to make sure that you're keeping the elbow tucked in, and I don't want you to raise your elbow up. So basically the wall is stopping you like this, right? Your elbow's at a 90-degree angle, and you're just gonna slowly turn your body away from the wall. And you're not doing this with your shoulder, you're trying to keep it back, just like this. If you can hold it for 20 seconds, great. If not, work your way from 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds. Just like this. And I would do, if I was doing 5 seconds, maybe I'll do 10. I'll assign people to do 10. And if it's 20 seconds, that I'll just have them do twice. It's up to you, whatever you can tolerate, but don't overdo it. So just like this. So that's one way that you can get into that external rotation, okay? So I hope those have helped so far. In the next videos, or the video, I will talk more about possible muscles that could be keeping your shoulder blades from gliding along your rib cage and how important that is to be loose. So I'll still continue to work on getting you to understand about the rotator cuff. That's not its only main function. It also helps to be able to lift the arm up farther. So please stay tuned, click subscribe to continue to follow me in working on our posture. You have a good day. Thank you for watching. Bye.